Okay, we are recording, and actually what I would love to do today is just go over a little bit about what we watched yesterday with Dave, which just a little side note, I would say that it was probably my favorite Dave video so far, of all the Dave videos. I felt like maybe he was in his comfort zone of what he was talking about, but it just seemed a little bit more fluent, like he wasn't trying to read off of something. I felt like in the last one, I was like watching him think. I just feel like I was watching him think before he was speaking, and I was like almost trying to guess what he was going to say because I could see him thinking, and I was just like, he's like, I can't watch you right now because I'm just watching you think, and it's making me not listen to what you're actually saying. So, but I felt like this one was really good. I felt like this was a really good kind of maybe topic for him was goals. And so I'd love to just kind of go over it. Plus I need help because I think I missed one. So if you guys wrote down the little things from yesterday, it was like the top 10 list. I'm missing one. So I'm going to have to like reference you guys when I get to that one. Maybe you guys wrote it down or could remember it. But so let's talk about the top 10 tips for goal setting. Okay. So the first one is get a roadmap. Get an idea of where you want to go. That's like, to me, is like setting your family vacation. Like, get a roadmap, you know, like you're going to Florida, are you going to take, go down through West Virginia and through the Carolinas, or are you going to go down through Tennessee and through Georgia? Like, which way are you going to go? Get an idea. Are you going to take back roads? Are you going to take the highway? How do you want to do it? Get an idea of, yes, how are you going to get there? What kind of vehicle are you going to take? Are you guys planning on camping? Are you planning on taking it slow? Are you planning on fast tracking? Think of it as like your vacation, planning a vacation, but planning your goals. So you have a goal. How are you going to get there? Are you going to take your time getting to that goal? Are you going to try and fast track to that goal? Are you going to try and push and get it in a month? Or are you going to say, hey, this is a yearly goal. I'm planning on hitting this by the end of the year. Get a time frame. I think that he kind of gets to that too, but like get a place that you want to go first. So that's like narrow down a goal. Hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. Boom. That's your goal. That's kind of like your little roadmap. That's like, okay, so to get to 10 pounds, I have to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, So that can be kind of your path there too. So then 2, I have hope is not a strategy, which I love because I hear so many times, not so much from you guys, because you guys have already chose to be with us, but from people that I'm talking about joining the group, they hope way too much. I hope I could lose 10 pounds during this program. Like, well, you could lose 10 pounds if you really apply yourself and you follow the nutrition and you do all the things that you need to do. Instead of hoping, you can just do all the things that you need to do to lose the 10 pounds, right? Like, why put it up in the air to be like, woohoo, I hope it's up there. Like, this is like tossing it in the air and hoping it never comes down. Hope is not going to do anything. Now you need to have faith, right? Like faith that I'm capable of losing 10 pounds, but hope, that's not going to get you anywhere. Okay. Hoping is like worrying to me. It's pointless. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't provide us anything. It doesn't get us anywhere other than stagnant, right? So hope to me is like, why waste your time on it? When you could just start moving in a direction, you could just start actively making decisions. And then I have the next one is self-awareness. So kind of what I got from that is just like, be aware of where you're at. Just be aware of where you're at and what your goal is. Okay. So like if your goal is to be on the beach every day, but you live in Ohio, self-awareness, right? Like maybe that's not necessarily a good matchup, right? Like that's not going to be realistic because you need self-awareness. Like for me, I live in Florida. Going to the beach every day is something I could probably achieve if I wanted to, right? Like be self-aware when it comes to your goals, because not that I think that you would ever set yourself up for failure, because I mean, failure we learn, but be realistic with your goals, something that you actually say, oh, I can do that. It may take a little bit of effort and I might need to like move some things around, but I'm capable of doing that, right? So self-awareness, make it something that's practical for your life, that's going to move you forward. But that makes sense for your life as well. Not a relevant goal. What's that one? Is that the next one? Because the next one's the one that I'm missing. Amanda, where are you?
Life is a series of trade-offs.
Okay, wait, what is that one? Life is it with trade-offs? Wait.
Life is a series of trade-offs was the fourth one.
Okay. Series of trade-offs. I don't remember what he said with that one. What does that mean? This life is a series of trade-offs. Does anybody remember what he was talking about when he said that?
I thought that the fourth focus is what I wrote down.
What is it?
But I thought that the fourth one was focus.
See, I do have that one. Goals of forward focus. And I thought I missed one in between self-awareness. I have like a little dash because and I think it's series of trade-offs, but I feel like I like zoned out for a second during that one or something. Maybe I need to go back and watch it because I literally went straight to goals of forward focus as well. So like maybe there was just like that segment that he just lost me for 5 seconds during that one in the middle. I don't ever want to lie about it, you know, like I'm not going to try and pretend I know what that means. So maybe if we go back and kind of rewatch that, hold on, man. There we go. I'm going to re-look up what the series trade-off is. I'll go back and look that up.
Alicia said focus was 5, so we both missed that one.
Yeah. I like that one. And I love goals of forward focus. So we'll just go right to that one. And so that's what I have next is goals of forward focus, which to me is like a no-brainer. Like you can't set a goal, you know, and, okay. Right. Like you can't set a goal for yourself and then not pay attention to it, right? You can't set a goal and then tuck it into a notebook and never look at it again. You need that goal up here. It needs to be in your focus, in your vision at all times. Maybe you write it down and you put it on a vision board. You write it down on a Post-it and you put it on your computer, or you screenshot. Maybe you write it down, you screenshot it, and you set it as your background on your phone screen. So whenever you look at your phone, there's that goal right in the back of your screen. Or maybe the goal is a vacation. So you take a picture of the place that you're going to and you put that as the background of your screen or your phone, or you know, anything like that can really help motivate you, and it keeps it in focus, right? Like think of it as like little glasses, like, you know, you want to keep your goal in focus. So like you're trying to look and you're like, that was me cleaning my lenses. And you got to keep that dream and that goal in focus, you guys. Okay? Like, it has to be in front of you. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. Here, I'll show you. I'm rolling this bad boy up. This is a vision board. This is Michael's section. This is Derek's section. And this is mine down here. These are all of my dreams and goals that I read and stare at every single day. Okay? You guys trying to read them? I can see you guys. No. Okay, so here I have, I want to be at leadership. So a lot of them are obviously Beachbody goals. I want to be at leadership. I would love to go to Rise, which is interesting that it got canceled and that we're doing this Rachel Hollis video anyway. So Rise is on here. I want to be in a Beachbody test group. I plan on completing at least 4 programs this year. I want to help someone lose 50 pounds, which actually has already been checked off this year, which is pretty exciting. And Level Up says that. I want to brand the Warrior Women. I want to be a 3-star diamond. I want to do a 30-person Warrior Women retreat. That was one of my original goals. We did end up getting 20 girls. Still debating whether we're going to be able to have it in November or not, but it is on here. I have 5-figure month on here. Love to have a 5-figure month. That's a big goal of mine. And then I have integrity and do the right thing always. So it's just little goals in quotes and just things that keep me motivated, just something that I can read or look at every day that just keeps me focused, okay? That 3-star diamond is really in my focus. I've got a couple girls that I'm working with to really get there and to achieve those things. So, no. Oh, why do you need my phone? You're silly. And then you drop it. Go. My phone is beautiful. Go. Nice try, dude. Oh, because of the green X. Okay. It's the best. I know. It is a good phone. Okay. So that is how you can create focus, you guys. Keeping it in your vision. Keeping it within your eyesight at all times. Okay. So write it down somewhere, right? And they can change. It's totally fine. I've already obviously made that before quarantine, so some of that stuff is going to have to be altered. Some of that stuff is going to have to change. That's totally fine. We adjust and we keep moving forward. Okay. Okay. So then I have efficiency, or like a schedule. So I think to me, that's just like, yes, you can have this vision and you want to keep it in your awareness, but unless you're actively working towards it every single day, are we really making any progress, right? So if I want to be a 3-star diamond coach and I need so many coaches, then maybe my goal is to sign up 2 to 3 coaches every month to get to that goal. Okay, so how can I sign up 2 to 3 coaches each month? Okay, so if I want to sign up 2 to 3 coaches each month, maybe that's 1 every 10 days. So every 10 days, I'm going to message so many girls to try to get to my 1 coach. Break it down. That's called reverse engineering, okay? You can reverse engineer something. So you start with the goal, and then you break it down into smaller goals and into smaller goals and into smaller goals, into achievable daily goals that are going to over time get you to your larger goal. It's also called the compound effect, right? Like as you continuously message each girl every single day, and then you sign up 1 girl every 10 days, that's called the compound effect. So eventually these little things that you're doing every day are going to equal a larger thing over time, but it has to be over time, okay? I have stuff written down for the series of trade-offs. Oh, Bethany, where are you? Where's your face? There you are. I have a lot of girls on today. I'm like, where is she? Yes, could you actually, I would love if you have some stuff written down for a series of trade-offs.
Yeah, you talked about it, like how we have choices in life, like to choose discipline. We can choose to be lazy. We can choose to help this person, not help this person, that sort of thing. And having goals can help us make those choices easier. So like you always have to kind of find a balance between things. But having a goal in mind helps you to pick how to balance those things easier. That's what I had written.
Okay. So almost like your trade-offs are like, just because you're getting rid of this, but you're filling it in with this, like trade-off, like I'm thinking trade-offs is like, yes, I have to get rid of this, but I'm replacing it with this. So it's a better trade-off. Am I reading that right? Am I getting that right, maybe?
Yeah, that's kind of how I thought about it too. Yeah, like if I, I want to do these things, but this thing is going to help me reach my goal better, then I'm going to be more likely to do that other thing.
Right. Like, even though I want to sit on the couch, but my goal is to get up and run a 5K. So my trade-off for getting up and running is getting closer to that 5K. It's like it's a better than, I guess. Yeah, I kind of get that. So like, think of it as like a weight. It's like, well, I could choose this, but the trade-off for this, even though it's harder work, is going to come out with a better result for me. I kind of like that. I can see that. I like that. Thank you so much. Oh, Carrie, chicken coop emergency. I don't have to message her after that and say, what is going down in the coop? It's funny. Okay, so then efficiency, schedule, and I love the next one. The next one was my favorite, which is building confidence. You guys, as you start hitting goals, we talked about this yesterday, as you start achieving those little things, you start to realize how capable you are, right? Like as you start to complete a program or even close out a week of a program, it's like, wow, you realize how capable you are. And then that can, in a sense, build your confidence. You're like, wow, if I did this one, well, maybe I could do this. Oh, crap, I did this, so now maybe I can do this, right? Like I ran half a mile. Okay, cool. Maybe I can run a full mile. Oh my God, I did it. Now maybe I can run a mile and a half. Holy crap, I'm dying. Let's go back to a mile. Okay. You know, okay, ran that mile again. Let's try that mile and a half again. Oh my God, I did it this time. Now my confidence is being built, right? Like you guys can build confidence through pushing yourself through those things that you think may be hard to do or that you may not even realize that you're capable of. The moment you do something that you didn't think you could, you literally turn into a warrior, just so you know. Like there's a reason as to why I named our team the Warrior Women. It's because I, in myself, realize that when I'm doing these programs, every single time I complete one, I just feel like a warrior. I'm like, yes, I completed it. Like, I just didn't, like the only word I could ever think of when, like I was still searching for, I had two team names that I really liked. Warrior Women was one, and then Super Sisters was the other one. Because at the time, Mike was doing bee removal. So he did bee removals for a long time when we lived in Texas. And Super Sisters are a type of bee. It's in the bee colony, and they're the people, the Super Sisters are the aunts or like the sisters of the queen bee, and they take care of all the kids and they take care of all the workers, and they make sure that like everybody is basically staying in line for the queen bee. So they're like her Super Sisters. They are like the orderly people. And so I really liked that name originally. Super Sisters was like kind of one of those things that I really was going for. But Warrior Women just stuck with me. There was just something that I was just like, this just feels like more badass. Like Super Sisters was cute, but like Warrior Women was like, yeah, like as I, and like when I say it, I even think that I literally like, I barely can say Warrior Women without wanting to go like, yeah, like afterwards. Like it just kind of comes along with the word. Just so you guys know, when you say Warrior Women, you got to go, yeah, after it. It's like all part of it now. I see Stephanie. Hi. I see other faces. I love it when other people like pop in the background of your guys' videos. It cracks me up. Because it reminds me, oh yeah, other people can hear me talk. Which is always interesting. I try not to think of that, because if I do, then I start to like get a little more nervous. And so I'm like, I'm just going to focus on your guys' faces. But I love the fact that building confidence, you guys, like completing goals helps build confidence. And your goals are going to start to get bigger the more goals that you achieve. So if you can just start to push yourself to achieve some of these small goals to build that confidence for yourself, right? Like maybe sign your first person up for a challenge. Boom, that right there builds confidence. Oh my gosh, somebody decided to pick me as their coach. Holy crap. Like even if it's one person, right? Like they chose me. Of all the people they could have chose, they chose me, and they're standing up with me. That builds confidence. That creates accountability. It could be a little scary too. You're like, holy crap, I gotta be there for them now. But you rise to the occasion, right? You always rise to the occasion. And then it's going to help you build your confidence, because as you help her, as she comes with questions about the 21-day fix or the meal plan or whatever, you're going to go, oh shoot, I don't know. And you're going to have to Google and search and learn. And then you can teach her, and that builds your confidence. Okay? Because now you're helping somebody learn something as you're kind of learning along with them, right? I always think that like the best way to learn is to teach. Like, sign somebody up. Teach them the 21-day fix. You don't know it yet? Well, you better start doing some homework, right? You better start doing your homework. You signed them up. You said you'd be there for them. They're trusting you. Don't let them down, right? And that doesn't just have to be with Beachbody. That's like life in general. If you say you're going to be there for somebody, be there. You know? Hold yourself accountable. Okay? Oh, that's awesome. Sonic.
So sensitive.
Okay. Kids crazy.
Going super fast.
I see. All right, go watch Sonic.
I know who's a sensitive.
Okay, so then the next one is known in the unknown, I believe. So that's what I have next anyway. Which was interesting. I can't quite remember what he said about it, but I feel like known in the unknown is almost just like having that confidence regardless of whether you've been in this position or not. As you start kind of going along here, there might be a point where you're like, that is like a very unknown territory, right? Like coaching is an unknown territory, or that really hard program, 80-day obsession, that's an unknown territory, right? Like, I don't know how I'm going to achieve that. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But what if you just said, I'm just going to be confident anyway. I'm just going to do it anyway. I'm going to feel that fear, and I'm just going to kind of go for it anyway, right? Being known in the unknown. That's kind of what I kind of got from it. If anybody else has anything else from it, I would love to hear it. But that's how my thought is like, but as you have to build a little bit of confidence, I feel like, before you can just be known in the unknown. Like, you need that little confidence booster. And I'm just going to reference it to workouts because that's always the easiest for all of us to reference to. But I think I start a lot of people on clean week. I'm like, here, finish clean week. You can do a week of workouts, boom. Then you can put your stamp of approval on that, and it's going to build your confidence just that much, right? And then I'm going to start you on 21-day fix. Might be a little unknown. Yes, it's 3 weeks instead of 1 week, but you're capable of it because, look, you did 1 week. It's only 2 more weeks. You can do this, you know? I kind of building their confidence as they step into the unknown, right? They don't know what they're getting themselves into. They're just trusting that I'm guiding them correctly, but they're building confidence as they're working through the unknown, okay? So you build that little bit of confidence, and then you take that little bit of confidence, and as you work through the unknown, that confidence is going to begin to build, okay? And that's how you're going to start getting awareness. That's how you're going to start being like, holy crap, I'm totally capable of all this. Look at these results I'm getting. And you're going to start cheering, and that confidence is going to build over time. But it's going to happen naturally as you're working through the unknown, okay? Not as you're working through the known, right? You can't just keep repeating 21-day fix over and over and over and over again and expect different results, right? Even if you went up to 8-pound weights instead of 5-pound weights. You're so repetitive in those motions doing 21-day fix, 21-day fix, 21-day fix. You've got to switch it up. You've got to step over into the unknown and try something different and do something different, right? And that is just like literally a metaphor for life, right? Like, you can't just keep over here doing the same thing. No, just because that's what you've always done. If you want something different, you're going to have to be willing to do something different. You're going to have to be willing to step into the unknown, regardless of how scary or hard it is, okay? If you want to grow and you want to build confidence, we have to feed the unknown, okay? And the more that we're just like not scared of that, like, I know it's scary, but like if we just tell ourselves it's not scary and we just started doing it, I think we really would realize it's not that scary. Like, it's not that scary to start a new program. You know what the scariest thing about starting a new program is? The day before you start. I think. It's like always that Sunday before you actually start on Monday is the hardest day. because you're just like, oh my God, tomorrow's day 1. I'm supposed to be pressing play. I'm reading through this meal guide. Like your anxiety just gets like out of control on that Sunday. But the moment Monday comes around and you press play and you have your shake and you have your first meal, you're like, oh, so this is it. This is what I got to do. I'm like, yeah, like that's all you got to do. Calm down, you know? And once you're in it, it doesn't seem so scary, right? Like once you're 2-3 weeks into T20, you're not scared to start week 4, right? You're like, ooh, I'm in it. I'm going, I'm cruising, I'm moving. But it's that day before you start that is always the scariest. That a lot of people will run and hide too. They won't end up starting because that day before is so scary to them. And they've worked it up so much in their heads of what it's going to be like or what it's not going to be like or whatever, the what ifs. And instead of just pressing play the next day, they run and hide, right? Or they go back to something they know. Oh, well, I just really love 21 Day Fix. I'm just going to go back and do that. But that's your known. That's what you already know. You're not going to get anything from that. You have to go to the unknown, right? That's the way you're going to build confidence. Doing 21 Day Fix 8 times is not going to build your confidence. You can do it once or twice, 3 times, maybe, you know, but then there has to be a point that you have to move on. That's your base. 21 Day Fix is your base. You have to build off of it. You have to go up, or there's going to be a point where you plateau, right? There's going to be a point where you're like, I'm not getting results. And I'm like, well, but you're on the 6th time of 21 Day Fix. You got to move. You got to go to a new program. You've got to expand your body to a new height. It's time to go more into the unknown. I have to do this to my mom all the time. My mom is like the safest player I've ever met in my life. Like, so I have like my mom in me, and then I have my dad in me. My dad was always like the let's go for it kind of person. Like, sure, let's move. Like, let's just pack everything up and move. Like, that was my dad. So I have that in me. But then my mom is like a very safe. Like, she always loved to play it really safe, you know? And I always have to tell her, I'm like, Mom, try that new program. She's like, oh, I just don't think I can do that. I'm like, Mom, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Like, yes, you can. You can totally do it. So I've watched you do Morning Meltdown 100, watched you do 21 Day Fix Extreme. But she would have stuck on 21 Day Fix for like the rest of her life if I had not pushed her to try other programs. And I was like, Mom, you've got to try something else. She's like, I just like 21 Day Fix. And I'm like, I know, but you're going to like these too if you just try them, you know? And so sometimes it maybe takes us to kind of push people. Maybe you kind of need to push people. And as you push people, you begin to push yourselves too, because you're like, okay, I'm pushing on the other people. I can't have them growing and me not growing, right? Because that's going to expose yourself very quickly, just so you know. You can't just sit there and tell everybody else to grow while you just sit in your little pedestal, right? Like, I can't be telling you guys to like, oh, go try new programs as I'm sitting back here doing 21 Day Fix, right? I have to lead from the front. I have to show like, hey, I've never ran a 5K before. Let's go try it, guys. Yeah, I'm in it with you, right? I'm not just telling you guys to go run a 5K, although it would be much easier. I'd be like, yay, good job, guys, you know? But it makes it feels more cohesive for all of us if I'm in it with you, right? It just feels like, okay, she's in it with us. She's struggling way more than I am. I'm feeling good. She is like dying, you know? Maybe it can build your confidence as well. Because you're like, oh, okay, Jen's in like really good shape, but she's dying after a 2-mile run, but I feel pretty good. That might build your confidence, you know? You just never know. So you got to try, you got to push yourself, go towards the unknown, okay? The last one I have, but I feel like I'm still missing another one possibly, but I have become who you are. One of the main things I always tell Mike, or I ask him also, like, because he's like, because sometimes I don't see my social media the way everybody else does, because I know who I am, right? Like, I know what I'm trying to say. I know what I mean when I'm posting something, but I always wonder how it's perceived from the other side, you know, from your guys's, or from a stranger, or from somebody that just happened to scroll through it. And I ask Mike all the time, I go, because I'll be like, hey, can you read my post? Does that sound like something I would say? Like, does that sound like it's coming from me, right? Like, because I want to be who I am. Like, I want, if you met me here or on the street, or if you follow me on my posts, I hope at some sense I'm the same person across the board, right? Like, maybe I'm a little different when it's just like Mike and Derek and I like hanging on the couch. Maybe I'm not like high vibrations, I'm just chilling. But I would hope that if you met me on the street, or you talked to me here, or you were messaging me, you know, on Messenger, that I'm pretty much the same, right? I am who I am, wherever I'm being plugged in at. That to me is like validation that I'm doing something correct as well, right? Like, I just want to live who I am, and I want to be who I am, but I want to be a good person, right? Like, I want to make difference in people's lives. I want to actively motivate people. I want to help people, keep people accountable. I want to inspire people. Okay, so how can I be true to myself but still live here as well? It's tricky, guys. That can be very tricky, right? But in my sense, I figure as long as I always rise to the occasion and never pretend I'm doing something I'm not, then I should be living in a truthful world, and I should be who I am, right? Like, I'm always like, hey, I didn't get my run today because it was raining. I didn't try to pretend that I ran, right? Like, I just am who I am, but being honest and being confident in who I am helps you guys trust me, builds my own confidence. And then I just know that we don't always have to be perfect, you know? Like, things are going to change, things are going to shift, things are going to move. How we handle them is what's going to bring us out of them, okay? So become who you are. I think that, like, as you hit goals, and as these goals line up with your lifestyle, as you build your confidence, as you're helping other people, as you become scheduled and focused, and you're going towards the unknown, you will naturally emerge, like the real you, right? Like, not the you that we paste all these labels on, and like, I'm a worker, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a mom, I'm a, not all that stuff. Not like all the labels that are posted on you, right? Like, you, just you, without the mom label, without the wife label, without the worker label. Like, what happens, like, who are you when all those labels are just like put in a drawer, right? Like, who is Jenny when it's just Jenny? You know, that's one thing that he kind of said a lot. Like, Dave was like, who am I when it's just Dave compared to who am I when I'm in front of you guys? I want there to be a connection there, right? Like, I don't want to turn on my microphone and then be like, okay, I gotta be warrior hour Jenny, right? Like, I don't want to do that for you guys. I want to be me, and I want to bring inspiration to you guys in a way that feels right to me, because then it aligns with my goals. That's one of my goals, is that if you were to meet me off of here, you would say, Jen, that's exactly how I thought you were going to be, because I watch you on Warrior Hour every day, and that's exactly how I thought you were going to be. Or I always want to be like, I always think of it like this, I want to be cooler in person. I don't know, I want to be cooler in person than when you actually meet me here. You'd be like, dude, you're even cooler. Like, that's my goal, is like that somebody would say, like, oh my gosh, I love you even more now that I met you in person. Like, that's what I want it to be. That's like my goal, is I want to connect with you guys on a real level, not like, I'm perfect and you guys need to be perfect too, and we just need to strive for perfection, because Jesus Christ, no thank you. Like, it's just not in my forehead, you know? Like, I just want us to be us, and I want us to love who we are now while actively working towards better, right? Like, can I love this and still be working on goals to be a better person as well? That's what I want. And that's what I want for you guys too. Like, I just want you to love who you are, boom, as you are right now. Like, your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul. Just love it now for like exactly the mess that it is, right? Like we're all a little messy, right? On the inside. Just love it anyway. Just like learn to like love the mess in your body as you're actively working to be better. Perfect. I see a little hand up here. Nope, just kidding.
Just kidding. Wrong button.
You're like, no worries. I gotta read over here real quick. Okay. Thank you, Alicia. I knew I was missing one. I knew it. Okay, so unlock potential. 9. Okay, 9 was the goals. Give us known direction. Is that what you got? Okay, yeah. So I have. Okay, wait. Which one am I missing? I'm missing unlocking potential. That was 9. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm definitely missing one. Because become who you are was 10, I think. Okay, so unlock potential. I don't remember what he said though. I mean, I could probably make something up that I think I know what he was talking about. I think that that's just like as you build your confidence, you're going to unlock potential. Like I didn't know really how I was going to coach over 500 women, right? But as I built confidence, as my group has slowly went, the potential has been unlocked for me. I realized I'm totally capable of doing that because of all the confidence I've built through the years. Okay, so I've unlocked a potential that I didn't really know that I had, but I'm so freaking glad that I've worked really hard to unlock it. Because, so I'll get pretty real with you guys. Like I was like naturally one of those people that'd be like, yeah, I'll totally be there. And then I just like wouldn't ever show up. I don't know if you guys are like that at all, but I'm like, we're totally like overcommitters. Like I just overcommit to everything and then I show up to nothing. It's basically how I was for like the longest time. I would just be like, yeah, we're totally gonna be there. And then like 5 minutes before, I'd be like, we ain't going to that. Like I just would always do that. I was just like, I was not somebody that you would count on ever showing up, even though I said I was showing up. Okay. I've really actively worked really hard to change that. And actually what I stopped doing was committing to things. It wasn't that because I knew I was saying yes to things that I shouldn't have been. That was my problem. It wasn't that I actually needed to show up because I really didn't want to go. What I needed to do was stop saying yes, right? I needed to stop saying yes because then I would now I hold my yeses for something that I'm really going to go to. I just stopped committing to things that I wasn't really going to commit to. And I just had to stand my ground and say, no, I'm not coming to that. Instead of saying what somebody wanted to hear, right? Like, because I know they want me to say yes. So I would say yes, because they would save the whole issue right now. Be like, yeah, sure, I'll come. Woo, go, run, you know? And I was being untruthful, to be honest. I was being untruthful to them, to myself, and in the situation. And then that breaks trust, right? Like, oh, she said she was going to be here and she didn't show up, right? And that breaks trust. Okay. And so for me to unlock the potential of coaching that I had to be a person of my word. I had to say, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. Right. That was potential that I had to unlock from myself by holding myself accountable, but also being truthful to myself. Saying, okay, don't commit to things that you really don't want to do. Just say no. Yeah, it's going to suck. Of course, they're going to try and talk you into it, but no, I'm not going to show up. So I'm not going to say yes. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm probably not going to show up. I'm not going to show up. You know, and just as I became more truthful with what I wanted to do and what I didn't want to do, I unlocked potential in myself because I became a more trustworthy person. Right? I actually did what I said I was going to do. So I built my own own confidence because I lacked confidence in myself because I knew I was going to flake. But I had to start changing something I was doing. It wasn't something someone else was doing. It wasn't like I was like, can people just stop inviting me to things? That's like thinking it's everybody else, not me. Like it's your guys' problem that you keep asking me to do things and I just have to say yes. No, it's my problem that I keep saying yes, right? It's not people inviting me. It's not their problem. It's my problem. I had to stop saying yes. And when I started being honest about yes or no, whether I'm coming or not coming, I built my own confidence. I built my own trust. And it unlocked potential in me because now I'm actually focusing on the things that I really want to do. Like, I always feel bad, but I have people here, they're like, oh, you want to go to the beach? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm working. Like, I had to actually be like, no, I'm working. I know that you think that I just work from home and I'm frolicking, but I actually do a lot during the day. But I just say no to people because this is more important to me than the beach at noon on a Tuesday, right? So you guys, your goals are going to create a little bit of turmoil in you. You're going to rise to the occasion, okay? It's okay to, let me see what else here. Let's see. The trade-offs, that's the trade-off right there, I think, is like I could sit and continue saying yes to people, but the trade-off is I really want to be a more trustworthy person. So I'm going to have to say no. It's going to be hard, but you can trust that when I say no, I'm not going to show up, right? Like that's trusting me. You're going to trust that I'm being honest there, right? And so that's going to build confidence. And that's the trade-off is I'd rather you know that I'm a trustworthy person that I don't show up, then you ask me and I say yes and I don't show up, but now you have misguided information about me. Now you think I'm not a trustworthy person. And mine was, I want to be trustworthy. So the trade-off to saying no is that now I'm actually trustworthy. Is that making sense? I'm just trying to work through that myself as I was talking out loud. I'm still trying to figure out that trade-off one. I'm trying to like figure it out, but sometimes you guys, things don't just click all the time, just so you know that. Like sometimes you can hear something and you can read it. Like actually, I was just talking to Elika yesterday. We were reading this book and there was a part where she's like, I've read this 8 times. She goes, and I just could not get it until her and I used an example and like worked through something. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've read that 1,000,000 times and I still never got it until just now. So like you might read this list and only get 5 of the 10 right now. But like maybe something in the future might happen where you look at the list again or you read the video or watch the video again or you're talking with somebody again and something comes up and you go, oh my gosh, that's what that means. Oh, this is a perfect example of da 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 da. This is the moment, I'm getting it. So you might not always get everything that we listen to, right? Like I don't really quite get all of the things about goals, but I'm working through them. I'm talking about them. I'm seeing you guys. I'm like, okay, that's validation. I'm seeing some head nods. I think we're on the right track there. Maybe if I'm like, okay, I'm not, I don't know, you guys are all looking at me like I'm crazy. Maybe I need a little work on that one, you know? So it's like, I'm working through it right along with you guys. You guys are literally watching my brain go gear, 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 you know? I'm like working through it. I don't have all the answers. I don't know everything. We're working through this together, right? So this is just as new to me as it is to you, okay? To me, I just put myself out there. I'm just like willing to put myself out there and say, let's work through this, right? Because that's scary, right? Telling somebody, say, hey, why don't you guys jump on this call and let's talk about something I know nothing about. That's a little scary, right? Like, it's a little intimidating, but I think the more I'm willing to put myself in that position, the more you guys might realize that I don't have all the answers. And you might not either, but that's totally okay. We can still work through it. You can still actively be growing. This is how we grow, is by learning, by working through it, by applying it, by delving into it and talking about it and sleeping on it and coming the next day and being like, I still don't get it. What can I do? How can I listen to this video? Maybe we could pull in this story. Maybe somebody else has some other idea. and we can work through it. This is growth right here happening, right? Like, we don't know all the answers. We're not like, okay, A equals B and B equals C and good job, ladies. Okay, all time. Like, that's not what's happening here. That's not how growth happens. Growth always feels really icky. I'll just tell you that right now. Growth feels icky pretty much at all times. You never know if you're doing it right. You never know if you're like on the right track until there's something that happens and you go, holy crap, I totally responded way different than I normally would. That was like one of the first things that happened to me when I really started working on growth, is like Mike and I got in an argument like years back, and it didn't blow up. Like, we discussed it. It was like an actual like discussion. And I remember stepping back going, holy crap, we like didn't argue. Like, we like actually talked about that. And I had this moment of like, oh, I'm growing. I'm doing it. I'm pulling myself out of it. I'm responding differently. He's responding differently. The conversation was different. Maybe not every time, but that time it was. And it was beautiful. And I want more of that. So then you're like, okay. How else can I continue this? What else can I learn about relationships? What else can I learn about responding to people correctly? And it's going to feel icky again. And you're going to have to like decipher it and figure it out again. It's going to feel freaking icky the whole time until the moment that you would normally respond a certain way and you don't. And you catch yourself and you go, wow, look at that growth I have. Look at that. It's actually working. Right? Or you achieve a goal that you didn't think was possible, and all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, I'm really achieving goals. It is possible. Your confidence goes beep, up just like one little notch. And that's all it takes, is that little notch every day or every week or every month, right? And then you'll be like, oh, I'm making progress. And it doesn't feel like it because I'm here every day and I'm working and I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking. But then if you look back 2 months ago, are you the same? Really? Like, think about it. Like, just for a second, be like, okay, 2 months ago, I was just about ready, May, April, yeah. So mid-March, I was just about to go on our Punta Cana trip, right? We've been in quarantine for about 60 days or so, maybe give or take, depending on when you started. Are you the same person that you were 60 days ago? I hope not. Especially if you've been coming here consistently or watching the recordings or even just here and there. I hope you've made progress. Or I hope you've at least kept yourself from falling off the cliff, right? Like, maybe you're not like climbing the mountain, but you're not in the valley either, right? If you guys came to Summit last year, so I actually we came to Summit last year. We actually got to see Rachel Hollis speak. I don't know if you guys know that, but she spoke at Summit. So we got to watch her live in Indianapolis last year. And she talked a lot about the valley and the mountain. So you're either climbing your mountain, going to your goal, seeing the vision, climbing the mountain, or you're in the valley. And the valley is what's happening right before the mountain, right? Like, you're in the hole, you're in the depression, you're in the seclusion, you just feel like you can't get out of it. And then all of a sudden there's this moment where you're climbing your mountain again, right? You're like, oh, I feel progress. I'm climbing my mountain. And then there might be a moment, coronavirus might happen. Boom, back in the valley, right? Like, you're in the valley, you're in the trenches. What's going on? What's happening? Why is this happening? And then Warrior Hour comes around and you go, I'm going to join that because I'm not working. So I might as well do something at 8 a.m., that holds me maybe a little accountable. So you get on Warrior Hour, right? And you start climbing that mountain again. Okay. Maybe the mountain doesn't look the same as it did the first time. Maybe you're climbing a new mountain. Maybe you're actually climbing the mountain over here, right? Maybe it's a different mountain, right? But you want to stay climbing that mountain. Means that you want to be consistently working on something, working towards a goal, because if you're not, where are you? You're in the valley. And the valley is nowhere anybody wants to live. The valley is dark, it's shaded, it's cold, it's yucky. You need to be climbing that mountain, okay? And that was one thing that I always kind of, when she talked about that, when we were live, like it really stuck with me. I mean, it's always kind of stuck in my head of like, okay, Jen, are you climbing your mountain or are you sitting in the valley? To me, sitting in the valley is like feeling sorry for myself, using excuses, bullshitting around, right? Like, to me is like, I'm just not taking myself seriously. I'm not giving my all. I am using excuses, like I said, or just anything like that that keeps me in the valley, right? How can I constantly be climbing that mountain? How can I pull myself out and say, you know what, Jen, regardless of this crap happening right now, how can you climb your mountain? Or how can you climb a mountain? What mountain can we be climbing? Maybe it's my relationship mountain. Okay, we're stuck inside. Boom. Let's focus on our relationship. We got 60 days to stare at each other and work at our relationship. What can we accomplish? You know? Or maybe your husband's still out working, it's just you and the kids, and normally they're at the daycare, but now you're like, all right, it's me and you kids, like, what do we got going on? How can you climb a mountain with your kids while you're here? Maybe your mountain looks different than it did just 2 months ago, but how can you find a way to climb that mountain rather than living in the valley with your kids, right? Because that's no fun. Being down here, miserable, depressed with your kids, right? Like, whew, I only got one, and I can only imagine some of you guys got multiples. If you're in the valley with multiples, whew, we got to get you out of there, right? Like, we got to pull you up that freaking mountain. We got to find a way for you to be pulling up the mountain. And I think this right here, the goals, is what can help us keep focused. Okay, how can I build my confidence today? How can I get a roadmap? What's a little goal that I could have, maybe just for myself for the week? You know, maybe the goal is for the week to eat a salad every day. That's my roadmap. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store and make sure I have stuff to make salads for the whole week. Okay, so that's my little goal. That's my little subcategory. Okay, I don't want to have the same salad every day, so how can I pick out 7 different salads, right? Like, how can you get creative? That's climbing a mountain, even if it's small. That's climbing a mountain. You're making progress. Living in a valley would be, oh, let's just order pizza, right? That's living in the valley. You gotta be making progress. Climbing the mountain, okay? So just think of yourself, like, is this a climbing the mountain kind of thing, or am I sitting in the valley? It's something that I always reference. Like, if I'm deciding to do something or not do something, I'm like, okay, is this going to get me closer to my mountain, or is this keeping me in the valley? It's just something that you can use to kind of like gauge or double check something, okay? And you'll know, right? And don't lie to yourself, okay? Because that's not going to help you. So you got to be truthful with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself, because here's the thing, you guys, if you're not honest with yourself, you're creating violence to yourself, which last week we talked about being nonviolent and doing no harm. So if you're doing harm to yourself, right, by lying to yourself, saying, yeah, of course this is climbing my mountain, when in reality, in your gut and in your soul and in your heart, you know it's not, don't lie to yourself, okay? Only you know the truth. I can't tell you the truth. Your family can't tell you the truth, but you know, because that guilt will set in. The moment you lie to yourself, guilt will set in, okay? And you'll know it. You'll feel it, okay? And I don't want that for you guys. I want you guys to be truthful with yourself, regardless if it hurts. It's totally fine, because once you're truthful with yourself, you can begin to work on it. But if you're working on something that you're not even being truthful with yourself about, you can't work on it, because you won't even be honest with yourself from the beginning. Okay? Oh my God. Carly's little daughter just came over the picture, and it was like just like up her nose, basically. The video was just like a picture of up her nose. It made me laugh because I just saw her head like come over there. That was funny. I love seeing you guys. Amanda, I love that. Oh, self-actualization. Okay, we'll go back to that, Bethany. Amanda, I love that. You shouldn't feel like the same person as yesterday. Every day we can make progress. And some days you make more progress than others, right? Like some days when you have those aha moments and you go, oh my God, I'm so glad this, I'm sorry, she's so funny, this little nose coming over there. But it's interesting of how like each day can be so different. Like some days you can feel like you're so on it and you're like making progress. And some days you're like, oh, just feel like I took 3 steps back, right? But the next day you wake up and you show up. And the next day you wake up and you show up. You're going to eventually make progress. And it may not feel it every day. It may not feel it, you know, every 2 days. But if you can look at the week, or if you can look at the month, or maybe we can look at this segment as a whole of like all 60 days. I can tell a difference in all of you guys. I can tell a huge difference in all of you guys. Or could you imagine, had you not done any of this, would you still be working out? Would you be pushing yourself to do runs? Right? Probably not. Or if you did, it probably wouldn't be as consistent. Okay? So give yourself some love, you guys. You guys are doing so much freaking hard work right here. Seriously, so much hard work. And the reason I know that is because I'm here doing it with you guys. And there's some days that I'm like, oh, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. I don't even know what I'm going to bring. I don't even know if I got anything for the girls. Like, and then I come and we have like this huge long conversation and I'm like, holy crap, who knew that was going to happen? You know? So just when you think that you're making no progress, you're making all the progress. Okay? Sometimes you may not see it because we're too clouded by our own perception. Which brings me to just, I want to quote just 2 little quotes for you guys, and then I'll let you guys go because I realize it's already past 9. Okay. So I think this is an interesting thing. It's from the book, Alika, I'm Obsessed. Just so you know, I'm going to reference this book so freaking much. Okay. So the thing is, when a conflict arises between the need to belong and the need to grow, we have to make a choice. Okay? There's going to be a point in your life where you either have to grow or you're going to stay a part of whatever your, okay, wait. So a need to grow or a need to belong. So you're either going to stay and belong where you think you're at right now, or you're going to choose to grow, right? There was a point, you guys, where I had to choose to grow. I had to move to Florida. I moved to Florida regardless of my family, regardless of grandma not being around my son, because it was for me. It was for my family. I had to choose to grow rather than stay and belong, okay? And I found my new belonging. I found a new belonging here. And I love it, right? But I had to choose to grow. So there's going to be a time where you're going to take a look at the people you're around or anything like that, and you're going to say, you know what? Instead of belonging as your friend, I have to choose to grow. Because I have to step away from you because you are no longer allowing me to grow. You're hindering that. And I need to choose whether I'm going to belong with you or I'm going to grow. You guys, I had to do that. And it's unfortunate. I lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends. But I've gained a lot of friends too. Okay? I have lost a lot of friends choosing Beachbody. I don't barely talk to anybody from my college because I stopped drinking. So no one really talks to me anymore because I don't go out and party anymore. So none of them talk to me anymore. And it was really hard to choose to grow rather than choose to belong, right? I could have chosen to continue belonging to them, but instead I said, you know what? I'm going to take a step out in this direction. I'm feeling like I feel an intense pull over here. And I had to choose to grow rather than belong and stay with them. And that was hard. But Here I am. You know, here I am with you. All your friggin' faces, which I love your guys' faces. And you guys actually motivate me to be a better person, not the alternative, right? Okay. So then I have this quote, and we'll end on this one. So I often hear people say, I just don't know what to do. I think more often than not, we do know what to do. The cost of our realness just seems too high at the time. So you guys, there's going to be a point where it feels like, oh, like maybe, oh, I don't want to move because I'm close to my family and the kids have their grandma, and I just don't know what to do. You do know what to do. The stakes are just pretty high, right? Like you do know. You do know in your heart what you want to do. You're just allowing external factors to kind of maybe stop you. But you guys, the choice is right here. You either choose to grow or you choose to stay and belong. And I'm just telling you to step out and choose to grow every time. Because you know in your heart, that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Staying comfortable is cute, right? It's cute. But growing, that takes balls. Right? We get like some big old cojones to step out and grow. But I think all you guys got it. I think like literally that's why you're here. You know it. You know that's why you're here. You're like, I am itching to freaking grow, or else I wouldn't be here. Well, I'm just telling you that here, if you could step out and choose to grow, you still belong right here. You just have a new belonging. Maybe it's not the belonging that you were originally holding on to, but if you step out and choose to grow, you're still going to belong right here. Okay? So I'm actually telling you that you could actually choose to grow and still belong. Maybe not to the original belonging, but you're going to belong to something new. Okay? And that can be really cool. Scary. The unknown is scary, right? That unknown is scary, but you know you're supposed to be doing it. You know it. I know it, or you wouldn't be here. Seriously. It's as simple as that. You wouldn't be here if you weren't interested in growing. So, you know what to do. Follow it. Stop second guessing yourself. Stop questioning yourself. Just say, no, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be growing. I don't have to step away from belonging over here in order to do that. Okay? Woo, buddy. Chalk that one up as a good day. Self-actualization, we're going to have to come back to that because it's already like 9:17. Bethany, will you remind me tomorrow that we'll start off tomorrow talking about self-actualization? It'll be awesome. So this is the same. All right, ladies, that's good work today, I think. Thank you guys so much for coming. Oh, shoot. Tennille, did you get a picture today? Derek took my phone. I didn't get one. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. All righty. Thank you, ladies. I hope you have a fabulous day. Let's go kick some ass, make some goals, and be a freaking warrior woman. Oh, remember, you're a warrior, okay? All right. Peace out, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.